Well, evening, everybody. It doesn't feel like we've been away, Carl and I, that's for sure. Yes, wow, what a day. What a day indeed. First off, let's just do the introductions, but welcome everybody to our post-match analysis. And yes, Peterborough United, we completed it, mate. Andy, evening to you. How are you doing after that brilliant win today?
Feeling great, mate. Yeah, it's such a good feeling when you go away from home, especially someone like Peterborough, and win a game. The only sort of downside on that, of course, is the boy Harry falling and hurt himself bad, but I think it's all right. It's just good news.
Good. And Gavin there, ever present with the shuffling the microphone around. How you doing, Gavin?
I've been beaten by the clock. I'm not used to this countdown.
Yeah.
I was trying to grab myself a little utopian beer, and I was like, oh! I just sat down as you press play. Sorry. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good. You good?
You were beating something there for a minute.
I'm very well, thank you.
Clock.
I just got a little bit outclocked, really. I'm used to 5 minutes. I was like, oh shit. Anyway,
there we go. Well, there we go. While Gavin tries to calm himself down and get himself ready, Carl, who's sitting high up there on a stool or a chair or something today, showing off his Sunday independent green.
Block 9 at the minute.
Yeah, it was good earlier, Carl, wasn't it? So how are you feeling? Have you calmed down yet?
Yeah, got my voice back after seeing all the post-match interviews and stuff. Yeah, over the moon that we can have a chilled out weekend of another 3 points away from home.
Yeah, definitely. Right, before I dive deep to the analysis from the gents tonight, as well as you all, as I can see the comments are flying in. Thank you to that. So, right, let's get underway. So, before today's game, Argyle were on an unbeaten run away from home. They travelled to arguably one of their toughest tests away at the Western House Stadium to face Peterborough United, who are on a strong run of form. Well, they completed it, mate. Argyle made the Posh look poor for all of 111 odd minutes. Organised, disciplined, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, an all-round complete performance from the lads. Probably the best we've seen for a very long time. Plymouth Argyle are now 5 games unbeaten on the road in the league, 4 wins and a draw, picking up 13 points. And if we add the 2 trophy wins, then that's another 2 games. So 7 unbeaten on the road. Some will say this is all Derek Adams. But credit to the board who stuck with Tom and made the smart appointment of bringing Derek Adams in to provide that support and experience to Tom Cleverley. But Cleverley is the head coach, and with smart signings of Joe Rules and Ronan Curtis, add to that players not just returning from injury, but players stepping in and stepping up. Let's just say, I think we are all now starting to find or see our form and the true Argyle of the league campaign, and it's credit to all involved. Plymouth Argyle was second to Lincoln in the form league table in the past 8 games and are now sitting in 14th place. Yep. Dizzy heights, folks. It's been a dream start to the 2026 year, and the next 2 games are back-to-back at home. And can we carry the momentum after that badly needed home win to Burton a couple of weeks ago? It was a complete performance, as even Tom Cleverley said in his post-match. Carl, I'll come to you first, but you joined me for the watch-along earlier, and that starting 11 certainly raised a lot of eyebrows, especially Sorinola and Gavin with that microphone and Edwards in the starting 11. And apologies to those listening posts and their eardrums. But yeah, Carl, it definitely did raise some eyebrows, that starting 11, didn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously not including Watch from the start was a surprise. I thought he would be fit enough now to start games. Amici dropping out as well. I thought the inclusion of Sorinola and Edwards down the right-hand side was a dubious one. I thought, obviously, with the amount of games Edwards has played and his injury record of late, I thought it was a bit of a risk to go with him again. And then Sorinola in front of him, who had a poor game at Rovers. But we didn't see any of that when we kicked off. And they had an excellent game down that side. I think it was a good call in the end, maybe going a bit more defensive-minded if it meant Edwards going up, bombing up the right-hand side, and then Sorinola having the pace to cover him, which worked quite well. Sorinola didn't give much space to the attack of Peterborough when they did have some chances going forward. He defended really well, didn't give them much space. gave away a few corners. He looked up for it. So credit to Sorinola for putting in a decent shift. And there's not many negatives we can really talk about tonight, apart from really the obvious one in not scoring more than one goal, which we deserved a lot more from today, because obviously we created over 20 chances of goal, which was a shame. But the most important thing is another 3 points, and the away form continues.
Yeah, it's. I mean, looking at some of the social posts in reaction to that lineup, I mean, even I thought, okay, but you started to sort of think when you saw Galloway coming back in as well, you know, in that left back position, who had a great game when he came on Tuesday for the second half, obviously getting a goal, also close to getting another goal today. Andy, it was one of those where you've got to give it to Cleverley. It was brave, certainly with Sorinola, because he scored a below 5 rating, as we talked about on Thursday, and Edwards was weak, going all over the show in that game. But Rules being back steadied that midfield ship, and all round brilliant from everyone.
Yeah, I was very surprised that he included Edwards, to be fair. But I think did he last a full 90 in the end, or 90, 101 minutes?
Yeah, 111 or 12 or so, yeah.
111, 112 minutes.
13 actually in the end.
Great performance from him. And Sorinola, who came in for criticism, of course, on Tuesday night. So, yeah, bit of a gamble, but it paid off, because that experience, you know, in the midfield and with Joe at the back was just what we needed, really.
Yeah, how did it sound on BBC Radio Devon today?
Oh, do you know what? It sounded as if we were totally in command of the game. I know with possession-wise, we didn't do much with it, but we were stopping them from going forward. We were limiting their chances. So success, really. Yeah, it sounded really good on the radio.
Yeah. No, it was good. Thanks, Andy. I mean, Gavin, you watched it as well on Argyle TV. A complete performance it was. As Carl said, yes, we should have, and even Cleverly said we should have converted some more chances and got some more goals. But, you know, it's going to come. And it just was great to go away to probably our toughest away match for, you know, recent games and get a massive 3 points.
Yeah, it was, as I think everyone said, it was pretty much a complete performance, apart from we probably missed 4 good chances, I'd say, and maybe a couple of half ones. But, you know, you only need 1 goal to win a game if you keep a clean sheet, and I think that's the lesson learned. But I think the tactics from TC was spot on. The press was great. The midfield looked massive today. It looked like we had 4 in midfield, not 2 in the centre. I'll eat some words here and say Sorinola probably had his best game in months
Ever.
of the season. He was fair play. I have backed TC all the way. Thank you. I'm the only panelist who's backed TC all the way. Just going to stick that one out there.
Hang on, the connection's going. Is Gavin losing? Are we losing him in the room?
And buenas noches as well to buenas noches to Argyle 83. Hope the sun's warm for you during the day. We were very good. We were solid midfields. I think everyone at the back played really well. Certainly the 2 fullbacks were excellent. It wasn't a heading contest. I thought that's why probably Ross had a better game today than Mitchell, because he's better with his feet, and Mitchell's genuinely better in the air. But I thought they were solid, and we pressed well in the midfield. And I think, you know, it summed up the aggression of winning the ball back and getting beyond them. I think they were quite lethargic. Their ball speed, which has normally been quite good under Williams, was a lot slower today. But I don't know whether that's because of the press. And they seem to be very flappy when we pressed high. Even like late doors, there was a very needless throw-in that they gave away, because Caleb Watts was breathing down his neck, but he was still about 4 yards away, and he sort of flapped from a throw-in and put it straight to the touch. So I think we just did a perfect job on them, really. And this away form is getting now very giddy, isn't it? Because I don't think, you know, even Shuey, Lowy, from that period on, we've never had a away form like this ever.
Yeah, we probably haven't had it since the Luggy days, probably.
No,
Wow,
I mean, Joe said that this is the best away form he's had since he's been with the club, and I think is he 6 seasons in now? Is this his 7th or 6th? Anyway, he's been here for 200 years at least, being 193 that he is. But yeah, this is our best away form. I don't know what's clicked, but maybe I don't know, maybe they got a priest in to throw some holy water around the bus. But it's the voodoo was gone. And
he's definitely gone. Oh, that voodoo. Sorry.
Yeah, we seem to be very very competent away from home. Now it's just about turning on the style at home, and I think you'll see a few guys that were on the bench Saturday, probably back against Luton, when we're a bit more front foot. But yeah, look, it was a really positive game, and it was nice because you're watching it and you never really felt under threat.
Yeah.
Even at 1-up, when you normally it's nervy and we kind of sit back for 10 minutes and let them onslaught. I can do 2 minutes on ref watch if you want. Now he has now out surpassed, should I say, the guy from Tuesday night. He's like we're going on down with spiral here. It's dog shit personified again.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
That second yellow for Tom O'Connor, who by the way he's looking a lot younger than the last time I saw him. Yeah, grey hair. He actually looks a bit like Paul Byrne. The last time I saw Tom O'Connor. But there are two yellows in the space of 4 minutes, and the ref has absolutely bottled that. And I love the way that the camera panned round to TC as he sits back in his chair and goes, "Fucking hell," and then realizes he can't say it anymore and sat on his hands. But it was appalling, and that lost the game for the ref then, because Talai should have been booked for a sliding tackle in the first half where he was about 20 minutes late. And that was not given because he didn't give the other one, and it just compiled from there. So the posh fans are pissed off with him, and I can see why. We shouldn't be happy either, even though we've won the game. And they've got to do something about the level of officiating in this league, because it is absolutely toilet. It is awful. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Or we just have Abigail every week because she seems to be the only one who can make a decision. But there we go. So I'll shut up.
Yeah. Thanks for that. No, thanks for that, Gavin. I'm going to read some of the comments out now, so please bear with. Obviously, for those that are new to the show, I can see there's a lot already dialing in on YouTube. Thank you for that. If you're not subscribed already on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. Appreciate that. And press the bell so you know when we go live. But most of you know, because it's every Thursday at 8:30 and every Saturday, i.e. now 8:30, and we do our watch-along if there is an away game as well. So let me go through the comments. Argo83 was in early saying, "Hurry up, I'm freezing in this rooftop hot tub." And I hope everyone else is in there with him with what he posted earlier.
I hope he's wearing some clothes as well, because if so, I don't want to be even thinking about that.
Oh, no.
Stephen Cooper says, "Evening, guys. I'm cock a hoop. Come on, you Greens." I then did break. Well, I didn't break. Well, I broke the news in here. Huddersfield have sacked Lee Grant after just appointing and signing Mumba. Apologies. He's now been sacked after losing today. Mumba did feature in the starting 11.
He wasn't sacked for losing. He was sacked because he sold Mumba. Bought Mumba.
He did play today, Mumba, and was substituted. Don't know. We'll just move on from that. Stephen Cooper also replying saying,
"Did I say as well? David Blunkett, his head of recruitment's gone with him."
Oh, for God's sake. Kami Tarasaki says, "Hello, everybody." Brian Pinerata, "Hello, Green Army fans. What a great performance as well." Kami Tarasaki said today really deserved the win. Evening, says Paul Bailey. Evening to you. Just a little celebration. I'm not going to read the rest of that out as I go through these comments. Where we got Stephen Vaughan. "Evening to the Argyle faithful in TC. We trust," and a lot of us didn't. But Gavin obviously did. Alex at Argyle, who went to the game, young Alex at Argyle. Give him a follow on his YouTube channel where you can. Evening, everyone. What a vlog and a win. Up the Argyle and Pepple. Matt Montgomery says, "I have to pay homage to Gavin Block." No, we'll move on. Going down. He says, "For his consistent and unwavering support of TC, even through the tough times. Come on, the Green," says GT. Evening, all. Debbie Firth, evening. Let me read some others out. Nicholas G, evening, gents. What a result. Must be our best away performance in years, if not decades, as Carl just said. Locks 9, evening all, where we got Ben Bennett Flooring. Get on, you Greens. If they play like they did today from now on, we will be fine. Green Army. Michael Hawks is in as well, a Reading fan who lost today. So he's not looking so smug as we now trail just a few points behind. Graham Burns says, "Top of the away form league." Great pick up that, Graham, and I'm not surprised. Where we got down here, let me scroll further down to get some more in. The Harmer, evening to you. "I see a bunch of happy Greens, a sight for sore eyes, great win." Stephen Cooper saying Edwards was class today. I eat my words. Well done, Joe. Today, my man of the match, he says. Well, we'll pick up on that in a minute because there was a lot of talk of has his legs gone and should he now be sidelined after Tuesday? It wasn't a great performance then. Matt Montgomery, delighted the way Argyle kept pressing Peterborough from start to finish and didn't flag. Let's hope we can replicate at home and at Luton and would really boost the atmosphere and feel good factor. Mark, who's also retweeted on X, so thank you for pairing up there. That was a dog with a bone performance. We just wouldn't let go. Maybe we should have scored more, but very encouraging. Man of the match, a close one, but Edwards gets it. Okay, 2 of you now doing that. 3.4 on the XG, says Argo83, who was keeping us updated with that during the watch along. That's madness. That one is. Steve Wheeler, great all-round performance. We could have netted several more, especially Peppel and Tolly. Yeah, Tolly did miss his biggest chance of the game, blasting it over the goal. What else have we got in here as I come down? CLB6406, evening to you. Don't recognize seeing that one in before. Some people have already made their mind up about TC, so won't give him any credit. Yes, because it's all Derek Adams. Matt Montgomery also says, beginning to heat up the custard, ready to pour on my slice of humble pie. My confidence in TC is growing, ready to Gavin in the Happy Clappers Club. And what else have we got as a Port Vale fan who ain't happy with Talai, who just picked, I hate Talai. I'll scroll down just to get a few more from the recent ones that have dropped in. We never get 1.4 XG, let alone 3, says Alex at Argyle. Steve Watser, who's also subscribed, you can now join us. I'll segue to that. So we've got Michael Hawks, a Reading fan, and Steve Watser have on our YouTube account. You can join. There's 2 memberships on there. There's a Block 9er for $2.99 and then a Block 9 Diamond. Do you like that, Gav? And that one's $4.99. Of course, a little bit more premium. But yeah, if you sign up to that, it's each month and you can help support what we do. So thank you to those 2 for that. Look, there's so many comments and I will come back to some more later. We'll just touch up on Edwards actually first, and we'll look at the man of the match performances. I will bring up the FOTMob scores and that in a second, but they are a little bit skewed. He did play really well. He had, obviously, Gavin, I picked your lineup on the watch along, and you had Sorinola in front of him. Effectively, he was sat in front of Galloway, which worked well. And then Curtis went over to the right hand side in front of Edwards, and it was Curtis and even Boateng actually came back and supported Edwards in that first half a lot. But it was a solid performance, Carl. And yes, I get it with his age and his legs might be gone. Tuesday was tough, but when we needed it just to shore it up, don't go bombing forward, he stayed back and he really did do everything right today.
Yeah, and considering it was a really pressing game from us and we didn't give them much space, he did well to last as long as he did. And he had the cover from Sorinola. I think maybe for away games that's the best setup. Maybe at home, when we got playing with Amici maybe in front of him, he doesn't have that license to bomb forward, and that's why he does get caught out quite a lot. But fair play, his legs didn't look like they went today. He put a proper shift in. It was like the Joe Edwards of 2 years ago. I mean, obviously he can keep on with those performance levels week in, week out. I don't think at the moment. But no, it was certainly nice to see Joey back to his best. And yeah,
Carl, who would you have said, you watched it with me, who would you have said was your man of the match in that game?
It's hard to pick because nobody had a bad game. But for me, I think Joe Rules, again, just dominated the midfield. Everything that he went for came off. His balls, his every pass he makes it look so easy. Some of the turns he did in midfield to set off attacks was brilliant. His experience has been second to none. And if we keep him injury-free for the remainder of the season, then he's going to be the biggest transfer we've probably made in recent history. He's been absolutely brilliant, and it's glad that we managed to extend his deal to the end of the season and hopefully even further than that, because he's a top player for League One level.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to come back to Gavin, purely, Andy, because I know you listen, but Gavin also watched the game. Yeah, for me, Gavin, actually, my man of the match was Peppel, and because he had a solid game again. Again, it's hard to choose because of how good the all-round performances was. I could quite easily give it to Sorinola as well, easily give it to Rules in that mix as well as anybody else. But you seem to nod, obviously, when Carl mentioned Rules. I'm guessing he was possibly your man of the match. So just give us your view.
I think it was that you could have given it to the whole midfield. Just going back to the Joe piece,
yeah,
because they don't play in behind and they didn't transition quickly because they had most of the ball. It's an easier game for him. If you look at Tuesday night when they had young, quick wingers and they soaked it up and then went, that's when, as a fullback, not that I've ever been one. I was a centre half who played rugby and kicked people hard, but as a fullback, you're up and down, aren't you? You're bombing up and down, to use a phrase of a certain.
And to be fair, lots of their long balls didn't even come off; they went out the touch.
No, exactly.
Really
So because they play quite a Premier League style of back and forth, try and pick through the middle. Joe would have spent a lot of time sort of jogging back 5 yards, going up, a bit like rugby league, not bombing up and down because the ball's going over the top. He's having to chase back and all that type of stuff. So it was a much easier game on the back four because they didn't have that sort of going behind a lot and having to turn, which is horrible, isn't it? I mean, even whatever sport you play, if you have to turn and run back and chase them, and it's not nice. So I think that's why Joe probably had a better run of things today than Tuesday.
It was a good, very good point. And to note that we did just stop them from being able to play.
Yeah, and the midfield, going back to the man of match piece, I thought the midfield were outstanding to a man, really. Even Wiradoo for his 10 minutes when he came on was solid and got stuck in. But I thought Boateng and Rolls, Curtis did a lot of really good stuff off the ball. I thought our shape was excellent in the midfield. But it feels like, and you can see it, probably Tuesday night live was probably my big eye opener, sat behind the goal at Bristol Rovers, when you don't have Rolls on the pitch, because he's a natural communicator. He pulls people in, he tells people where to go, he reads the game, and he non-stop talks really for the whole period. When you haven't got him there, and you've got two younger guys in Wiradoo and Boateng who are very similar players, God, can't you see the difference?
Yeah.
So that's why I think I agree with Carl and giving him the man of the match, because it wasn't just what he did with the ball at his feet or out of possession, but his communication and the way that he would have, been the on-field coach, to use a bit of a TCism, in breaking them down and not let them through the middle, which is what they want. They wanted to play through the thirds, and we barely let them a handful of times. And I think probably Hazard had sub 10 touches of the ball. It was mental, really. For a 1-0, it was a very comfortable 1-0. But yeah, I would say you could give it to Rolls. You could have given it easily to Sarinola, who was toilet on Tuesday night at left back, and I think he'll probably admit that as well. But probably could say a bit of good man management, because you hook a player off at half time on Tuesday, and then you put him in a different position on a Saturday on a very important game and say, go and prove me wrong. And he did. So
my only concern with Rules is if he does, God forbid, pick up another injury, where does that leave us? That's why I think we need another option in midfield.
I agree with you, Carl, but I would say that he will be managed magnificently by the medical team, a bit like Joe Edwards, in between games. So they'll wrap him up in cotton wool, because they're both key leaders on the pitch. Yeah. And he won't be putting in probably nowhere near as much physicality and output during the week, I would imagine. Maybe he does, I don't know, but I would imagine not, than some of the younger players. But if he looks after himself, and he seems like an absolute ultimate professional. I mean, training with Aldershot when he was, am I going to go? Am I not? I thought was a real testament to his ability and his mindset as a player. He's been a pro for a long time. He's played at good level at Cardiff Premier League and then champ for most of his career. So I would say that he's an expert at looking after himself. He'll know his own body better than anybody. And if the medical team listen to him, which sounds like they do, then touch wood, unless it's a contact injury, I think he'll stay fit.
Yeah, I think it's the Edwards point is valid. Where with the balls not going over the top, that's Sparks. It was who was brilliant on Tuesday night for Rovers. Andy, I think Argyle just pressed from the off, just didn't give them a moment on the ball. And we were saying just before we went live in the lobby that it was reminiscent actually of Argyle at home having a pass along the back four because we couldn't get anywhere forward. You could see it was recollection. It was Lees and O'Connor before O'Connor obviously went off after the Pepple goal that would just happened just to pass it to each other between them and Bass because they just couldn't get anywhere, and that was testament to the front line and the midfield. And then when they did try and get through, there was nothing doing for them. The one player, Andy, as well, that I actually said throughout the game I thought super impressed me was Ross, and I thought he was outstanding today, where he's had a few ups and downs. And also, Andy, I think I'd get your thoughts on obviously the game changer. I think Ronan Curtis with that performance on Tuesday with 3 assists, giving you that lift of, oh my God, what have we signed here? You know, every player, I said it on Thursday night, wanting to go, I want to get forward. If I go forward and run forward, this guy's going to give me the ball. He's going to be there to pass to. And I think that's just lifted everybody as well, Andy.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is that Peterborough are known for playing from the back, and conditions today made it a lot difficult because I know it was raining a lot, wasn't it? It was heavy rain and stuff. So it was
initially in the first half, yes.
From the back. And the hard press was great, you know, and having someone like Curtis in there who's chasing down and Talai is chasing down. I mean, Talai for the goal, chasing down for the goal was outstanding. He's just, you know, got in before the defender, put the ball across, and there's, you know, empty net for Pepple. You know, it's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, Ross, you touched on Ross. That I think the whole back four were outstanding today. They did their job. I said we criticised Sorinola, we criticised Edwards on Tuesday night, but they upped their game, and it was a good performance from all of them, really.
Yeah, I think for me, Ross just seemed really up for it. Mitchell was solid as well, and Galloway, you know, coming back, starting today as well. You know, with which probably helped Sorinola in front of him. You know, there wasn't that pressure there, but they weren't able to use.
Missed many headers at all, did he? I think he won.
I can't remember losing one header from the centre half.
No. And it was a bit more physical.
I think they won 100%.
And we touched on Mitchell as well. Mitchell giving his 100% as well, because he had to go off at one point because he had blood on him, didn't he? I think. And then coming back in and just still putting himself in there. It's testament to the guy, isn't it? What sort of energy he brings to that team.
I'm just going to read some more comments out. Let me just scroll a bit back. I'm going to miss loads, so apologies for that because they are coming through thick and fast. Mike Hughes, that's a new one I don't recognise. So Mike Hughes, evening to you. We played well and we were the better side throughout. Only criticism was that we didn't score more. Poor ref, as we've just heard from Gavin, and he was. And Posh should have been down to 10 after 5 minutes. Graham Burns saying, when Pebble took a touch for his goal, I thought the defender was going to block it. He has taken things more calmly, and I did think the same, but he did brilliantly as well, just to give himself a split second, just to make sure he put it into that empty net. Matt Montgomery saying, Peter Wood, I will use the old adage, take one game at a time. I think, cleverly sort of said we don't want to get carried away. I've got his little post-match clip as well as Joe Edwards in a minute for you, and as Sky's highlights as usual, folks. But yes, there is a bit of that, and we've got to go with these next 2 home games and do something there. Alex also confirming Huddersfield sacked their manager. Unfortunately for Mumba, you didn't put it quite like that, but that's how I'm putting it. Stephen Cooper says, later on, can you tell me if Swindon will be kicked out of the trophy? I believe Holloway isn't too happy about it, so something obviously slipped through the net.
Typical Holloway.
His press conference earlier was absolute vintage.
Oh, was it?
Wasn't it?
What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? I'm not.
But you're the spokesman of the club. No, I'm not. And I've got 1,000 games under my belt. You need to show me some respect. He was off his tits. It was brilliant.
No. But it is Luton or Swindon, and it is away again. So you'll have to join me and whoever joins
on a Monday night as well.
Say again?
On a Monday night as well.
Is it a Monday night? Is it?
Week commencing Monday, so it's going to be
it'll be the Tuesday or the Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Right, I'm going either way.
But we're away.
If it's Swindon, I'm going to be there, hopefully.
Yeah, either way, we're away. What else we got? Stephen Watson saying absolutely perfect performance today. Absolutely loved every minute of it. What we got else? Andrew saying most complete performance of the season. Andrew, who's Pepple's #1 fan. We've also got Jack Natman who says evening guys. Hope you're all well. Michael Hawke saying berate style, obviously with a loss today. But Peterborough and Reading, both who have been on that great form, both defeated today. The Evans boys, so good to see them in. Brilliant performance of the season and for a while, Dave and Eddie, that's for sure. What else have we got before I come back to the panel? Just going to scroll down. Ruby and me. Andy says, first time I've listened in on the watch along, and with 10 minutes left, I wasn't sweating on them getting an equaliser. Only thought Argyle would get another goal. There was that little spell where they tried to come back into it, and then we managed to close it out. Joe Thompson, evening to you, says, let's go promotion push. Well, it is only 6 points away from promotion. I'm just going to scroll down. There's so many.
William Larkin, welcome in as well, mate.
Yeah, that's someone you know, isn't it, Andy? So
William Larkin, or Bilko, I used to call him.
Steve Vaughan, just reiterating what I just said, we're only 6 points from the playoffs. Next 4 games will be tough, but 3 home and 1 away to Luton, Mansfield at home, Stockport away, Lincoln home. Need to start being consistent at home, and that could be massive. We'll come on to that a little bit later. And Finley's just dropped in as Argyle News Hub. Good evening, everybody, he says, and he's, of course, retweeted. Flyboy, evening to you. I don't recognise you, so welcome those that are new to the show. Thought Posh were poor, considering they were a form team in the league. Argyle were solid. So, yeah, wow, let's catch some breath. So I think the other side to me, commentating on the game earlier, and I was out of breath then, that first half was a lot of back to front. Argyle really with more of the chances. I'll just show you up the stats, actually. Stevie Vaughan used to bring this one up in our chat. When Argyle have a low percentage of possession, they tend to do well. Well, it was 68 to the Posh, 32 to the Greens. And yes, as we said earlier, folks, that XG, 0.2 to the Posh. Argyle have been there, so I won't joke too much about that. But 3.3 to the Greens. Total shots, 8 to the Posh, 22 to Argyle. On target, though, 2 to Peterborough, and they were soft ones, really. 3 to the Greens, obviously with 1 being the goal. 4 big chances, it says. Certainly Talai's one was one of them. Galloway and also Peppel had another one that the keeper managed to stick his leg out to. That is in the highlights, and that was a brilliant work ball as well between Boateng and Edwards to feed him that. Accurate passing, 81%, because they really didn't have anywhere to go other than their back line, Peterborough. 57% to Argyle. 13 fouls for Peterborough, 21 to Argyle. 8 corners and 10 respectfully. We talked about discipline actually before. Carl, I'll come to you, and it was Talai was fired up, and his yellow card was fair. I know it was a bit soft. It was Sorinola was chasing the player down, and we discussed it in the game. But it was his 4th challenge, and I said before it happened, 1 more, and he's going to get a yellow.
Yeah, I think it was right taking him off near the end, because I thought if he got himself into trouble with another challenge, he would have been on a very thin tightrope. And I don't think his yellow was a yellow. I mean, he barely touched the guy. He goes past Talai, and then Sorinola gets involved. There's more of a push from Sorinola, more contact from Sorinola. So I don't understand why Talai. I mean, he started off the tumble.
I think it was a mistake from the one earlier, where in the first half where he absolutely clatters him and should have been booked. But I think it's he got booked for accumulation of fouls rather than that incident.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it was a bit nervy. A lot of people in the chat at halftime were saying, "Oh, we should take Talai off and sub him, so we don't run the risk of him getting, either a straight red or a second yellow. You could do with not losing him again." But you could see actually, and I commented on it, that he just seemed to just be very aware that he was on that yellow and sort of pulled out at times of not going in too rough. And the odd occasion that he did was just closing down. There was one point where he did close down Bass, Peterborough's keeper, and gave away a free kick.
And not just Talai. I think Cleverly did quite well on the touchlines, considering the refereeing decisions on some of them to hold his nerve. So credit to him for not getting a card in today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. What we got, Mark said, I said it a few weeks ago, but we are so getting that playoff place. Bolton in the final is coming. Arguum, 1887, apologies if I got that wrong. Sorinola is right-footed. He's had some great games for Argyle on that side. He's not a left back. Let's keep asking a loose head to play a tight head as a rugby reference. As Gavin
and that is so true, because I could only play the right side of the scrum. Every time I went to the left, I was pushing the wrong way. It was like, what's going on here?
I actually think, guys, that Mark is a bit comfortably numb there. Do you think?
Oh dear, is that some sort of joke I've missed?
That comment by Matt, Mike.
Sorry, Carl?
That comment by Mike. That comment by Matt. Sorry.
Mike and Carl kept me well and truly entertained with a blend of Mike like a child on tartazine and Carl needing ketamine due to the horrific ref decisions. Great listen, guys.
Oh,
yeah, I don't need anything to get my energy levels up. Right, what I'm going to do quickly is actually play the highlights, 2 minutes of highlights from Sky Sports, as we always like to bring you on the show. So let's go and run that reel. This is their first chance, and that's a soft one to a Hazard.
How dare they?
I'm not wrong, are they, at times? This is the goal.
I think I didn't realise until I saw up there. Curtis headed a cracking header down the line as like a pre-assist to keep it in. And Hazard hit his man from 4 yards. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. Quick transition of play. That was the only mistake Mitchell made really all game.
Great shot, isn't it?
And I
Great
literally
closing
said
down by
seconds
Galloway.
before, I said seconds before that we're handling the pressure at the back well, and then he rushed to pass. This is the Pepperell's second chance. This is brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah, he run up the keeper on it. And either side it's in.
Yeah, keeper did well to get his legs stretched out, in fairness. It was a good effort.
Rob should have put that away.
Yeah. And again, Talai pressing. Rush pass, pull back flick, Boateng pressure, forces it off Gubber.
He's so controlled there, and he's absolutely thrashed at it.
Caleb Watts in a position there and right. She's great that.
That's the sending off.
That's the red. That was filthy. Absolutely filthy. Bye.
So there we go. That's the highlights. Yeah, it's Boateng trying to be clever, and his little back heel flick didn't work and rebounded from the defender. But Edwards read it, running into the box. A great ball across the deck to Peppel. It wasn't a bad finish. He could have done better if he'd have controlled it, maybe. But the keeper did get his leg out to stop it. But his first goal. Again, as you just alluded to there, Gavin, it was Hazard, kicking the ball up, and we've criticised and quite heavily, not going to hide that, his distribution recently. One of the things we said on Thursday night was Hazard's distribution, and Gavin, you particularly picked up on it, and said that you got the ball out over. It was a flick on from Curtis. Talai putting pressure on the defender. It was O'Connor went off after that. He pulled his hamstring, but the pressure from Talai forced him to try and do something with it, messed it up. Talai chases the ball down with the on-running, rushing Bass and manages to flick it to Peppel. And yeah, if it had been a second longer, I think the defender would have got in the way. But thankfully, rubber the green and the calmness from Peppel, he does sod it away.
I'm so glad he finishes it, because Talai celebrates even before he connects.
Those good past the times, haven't we? in the cock-ups videos.
Yeah, and it's good to see as well a couple of mentions. I will try and read out those that I don't see any, but I did see Pilgrim Petey turn up in to the live a short while ago. So good to see you back in, Pilgrim, and also Argyle tweet. So evening to you. Right, let me just go to the post-match interviews. Let's get those out of the way.
Gaffer, considering the venue, considering the form that Peter have been on, where does this away win rank in all of the other ones this season?
Yeah, without getting carried away, it was our best performance of the season for sure. Complete performance from the first minute to the 95th minute. I thought we were the dominant side in control. And yeah, the only sort of criticism coming in at the boys is it should have been 3 or 4-0, you know. Yeah, outstanding, competed, we were structured, disciplined. Within that game plan, I thought the quality on show was outstanding, and apart from the final action a couple of times, but yeah, I couldn't be more happy with my players today and the.
That was the end. I'm going to go to Edwards now.
Joe, the gaffer's just called that our best performance of the season. Do you concur?
Yeah, I think it was. I think most complete over 90 minutes. I felt the last 10 it looked a little bit all over the place sometimes, but I felt in general, like I said, from start to finish, I thought we were really good. I thought the game plan was excellent in terms of how we wanted to play, and we executed it really well. And like I said, I think the only disappointing thing was maybe not to kill it off with that second goal. But yeah, overall, really pleased.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I mean, sort of cleverly, he looked at the end of the game actually still quite stressed, but I think he realised what a shift the lads had put in and wanted to make sure they got to the final whistle, keeping that lead intact. Yeah, best performance of the season, and as we've said earlier, best performance probably in a very, very long time, certainly away from home. I'll just read out some comments, and I do have Harvey England's post-match, so I'll come to that afterwards. But we've got Michael Hawke saying Pebble to score next game as it's his old club and always happens when happened to us today. Locks9 saying, yeah, it did look like it was in slow motion when Pebble scored. It was brilliant. If you can, the club have put out a clip as well from someone in the ground as well. So go and check those out if you can. Matt Montgomery says, never thought I'd quote Hamlet in an Argyle podcast.
Highbrow we are. We're highbrow.
There we go. Yorick Ross, Mr. Sitter with his head. Stephen Cooper saying, I know it's only one game, but I don't think we miss Mumba with the way Clevs plays. Well, Ronan Curtis has just come in and just ignited a totally different style of game for us. And we've already thanked Mumba for his service. We now move on. It looks like the future is bright with Ronan Curtis. What else have we got? Brian Pinarata says, does Argyle keep the 4-4-2 formation for the remainder of the season? Andy, I'll chuck that one at you quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it seems to be working for us, doesn't it? We're playing a lot better football, getting the ball up the pitch, and we're not panicking anymore, Mr. Mandarin. And it's good to see Argyle coming back to life, Mark, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I just say that? I actually think. Sorry, can I just jump in there on that formation? I think we'll play 4-4-2 away. I actually think we'll play 4-2-3-1 at home because we're going to need to have Amici and Curtis and Caleb Watts in the side for creativity because we can't. Although it was okay today, you kind of expect to have more of the ball at home than you would do with 39%.
Well, we need to be more fluid at home, don't we? That's for sure.
Because we're not in the Championship. We're not playing Muslich ball, which is we're going to not have the ball at home and away, and we'll get 25% possession and nick a 2-1. We're going to have to perform at home, and especially against the weaker sides. I think we're going to have to play 4-2-3-1. But Caleb Watts can go from a 10 to an 8 to a 6 anyway. So I think that gives it its fluidity. And the only thing there is we'll probably miss Peppel's control up top to be sort of shielding the ball and bringing others into the game. So, but I think it will go as we emerge. If we pull away from the bottom and get some good form, which we're starting to, and we're knocking on the door of the playoffs, I think we'll go 4-2-3-1 at home and 4-4-2 away.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick up on just to Jana's. Well, he's one that I've just seen, but he was saying it was 2 seasons ago since we signed Torinola, so great one on that one. I'll read your other one out in a minute. Argyle tweets, we did discuss it actually before you came in earlier on the show, but he says just how much influence has Adams had on this team. I did allude in my intro that obviously, yes, a lot of people will still believe that it's all Derek Adams, what's going on. I sort of said I think the board have to take a lot of credit for staying firm. I don't think we could financially afford to get rid of Cleverly, if I'm honest, but they held their line. They brought Adams in. That was a smart move, bring experience and support to Cleverly. But everybody has then managed to help turn this around. Players coming back, the 2 signings have been massively influential, and players stepping up, because let's not forget there's a lot on the bench now. Finn didn't even get a sniff on the bench. I think Benarouz was on the bench, actually.
Benarouz was
Yeah, but we've also got Ibrahim out still. Obviously, Mackenzie's in training again. So that's going to be putting pressure on the likes of Galloway, and Sorinola even. So
back end of the month. Oseni back soon.
Dale.
Well.
And
Dale.
Yeah.
So it's some serious names coming back.
I think the one that's probably really nervous at the moment is probably Boateng, because as soon as Ibrahim gets fit, I think Ibrahim and Rawls in the midfield's quite tasty.
Oh, the teacher's pet ain't going to get dropped that easily, but it's exciting. It will be exciting to see. So, but yeah, Argyle Tweets, it's one of those where, look, it's working, however you look at it. But sometimes when you're doing a job and you're struggling to work out how you can turn it around, someone coming up to you with experience that just lends a bit of an ear to you can definitely help. And so not denying that at all, that Derek Adams has made a big impact to that, and fair play to the board for appointing him for that as well. Michael Hawke saying, and Mike, remember goal graphic? I remembered the goal graphic, yes, on the watch along. Forgot for 6 of the 7 goals on that came in on Tuesday night. Paul Bailey saying TC was writing his notes in red ink, and it is Tom's favourite colour lately. He did have his notepad out. I did comment on it, and he had one of those Bic multicolored pens.
Oh, they're beautiful.
You only get details like that on this podcast.
That's a king of stationery, that is.
That is, exactly. Matt Montgomery, Mike, I've read that one out. So let me go to, there was a couple of comments recently that have just come in. Just so Jana's original one says, still on the coach back, about 100 minutes to go. Think today has been their best performance they've done this season, despite only scoring 1. No Mumba, and the performance skyrocketed. Curtis was a big influence in that as well, and Rawls coming back into midfield, as we said earlier. And what else have we got? Locks 9, only 2 points from the top half. Could happen in the next 2 games. Donna Hone, evening to you, Donna. Such an enjoyable game to watch today. Not a single weak link. The press was incredible, and Posh just couldn't handle us. We made them look poor. Hopefully, we can carry this into the home form. Mark saying Edwards is class, and we are so blessed to have him on and off the pitch. Keep those legs strong, Joey. I'd actually start to lie, says Matt Montgomery, with Peppel to come off the bench. He's been great to bring on busting and gusto, stick it to Luton, and a physical presence when tiring can be huge in games. Flyboy, finishing needs to improve. We should have been out of sight with the chances that we had. But yes, and then what have we got? Simon Fisher, evening chaps. He says, I thought that was the most complete performance of the season and was so impressive.
Can we have a quick clarification from Locks 9, what she means by Derek Adams to make an appearance soon?
Okay. So one of the things on that as well, we said it on Thursday, actually. He's been very quiet in the background, hasn't he? Not been trying to get any attention or make any attention.
He's in the middle of a transfer window. He's hardly got any time on his hands, has he?
But even before that, which to be fair, he would have also still been organising stuff for the transfer window. But yeah, that's my point, highlighting earlier that it's one person can help bring that experience, but everybody else has got to do their bit as well. Right, let me go to Harvey's post-match thoughts, which I'm sure will be positive again.
Right then, it's the last full time. Peterborough United 0, Plymouth Argyle 1. Wow, a thoroughly deserved 3 points. We was on it from minute 1. Ben Pebble today, what a player. Takes a lot of stick from Argyle fans, and Argyle fans have an opinion on him, but today he was top tier. Got us the goal, ran his socks off. What helped Argyle was the red card. I do want to wish that Peterborough player that got stretchered off, I want to wish him a speedy recovery. Did look like it was a nasty knock, but on to Argyle. The away end today was back to how it used to be, back to how it should be. Absolutely electric, buzzing. But we move on now to Luton. Luton at home. The unbeaten run in 2026 continues. Long may it continue. I'll see you in the next.
There we go. There we go. So someone noting, Simon, sorry, Derek was there, got off the bus. Well, I would expect him to. Most DOFs do go to the away games as well. Just a Jana, and also the posh player is moving normal and that has 100% feeling just very sore from the Peterborough post-match interview. It was one of those, nothing Rules could do. They were both going for the ball. He jumped up, and as Rules was heading to head it down, he caught his legs and cartwheeled him over. It did look pretty ouch. Not one that you like to watch back, which added to the significant number of minutes. So I'm going to pit up the FOTMOB ratings, which, to be fair, are absolutely shocking, some of them tonight. So I'll go from the back, obviously, as usual, to the front. So Hazard, 7.8, who didn't really have anything to do. And I think if Hammond was in goal with the back four like they played today, he would have equally just had a steady game. Edwards with a 7.9. Ross with a 6.9. Shocking. That is certainly way too low. Same as Mitchell, 6.8. Galloway, 7.4. Then in the midfield, Sorinola, 7.2, who did play on the left. Not the right today in front of Galloway. Rules 7.7, Boateng 7.2, Curtis 6.8. Not involved as much as he was on Tuesday, but still nowhere near that score of what it should be. Peppel with 77, who I said was my man of the match, really. And then Talai with 8.1, who got, according to FOTMOB, the star player of the game with the assist for obviously Peppel's goals. I mean, Andy, it's like summer. I mean, these have been not too bad of late because Sorinola's 4 point something was absolutely bang on Tuesday. But Mitchell and Ross with 6.8 and 9 respectfully.
Yeah, and I don't get why Hazard's got a 7.8 as well. He hardly did anything, did he? Mitchell and Ross deserve a lot more than that, really, at least to be in the 7.4, 7.5. Curtis, I think she'd be up in the 7s as well, 7.4. Talai, yeah, I think Talai does a lot off the ball that we don't see. You know, he's amazing as a player. 8.1 is probably justified, maybe a little bit more than that. Peppel deserves a little bit more, I think, for his running as well and his contribution to the game.
Yeah. Carl, Talai, I don't think Talai was an 8.1, but it's certainly there's a few ratings in there that are missing a couple of digits.
I think someone must have took over the FOTMOB scoring today. Maybe it's someone for work experience, because some of those are quite deluded. I mean, I don't know how Hazard gets to 7.8, probably for the clean sheet, but he barely touches the ball all game. Yet Ross and Mitchell, who really the ones that have got us the clean sheet today, score less. And yeah, lots of early 7.7s there. There should be a lot more 7.5, 7.6s. Talai, had a good game, but I want to say an 8. All of them should be in green, to be honest. Some strange scores there, but again, just shows today we were dominant all over the pitch with those scorings.
Yep, absolutely. It's I'll move off that now because we looked at it at halftime as they do provide them live, and even then we're a bit like that ain't right. Pilgrim Pete has a question. Gavin, I'll come to you. He says, where do you think we will still need to strengthen, considering we have a fair few players coming back from injury in the coming weeks? And just to add to that, with them coming back, and touch wood, because I know we could still fall foul of other injuries, does that ease a little bit of the pressure in the transfer window, Gavin? It must do, surely.
Yeah. I think if we'd lost today, there'd have been an obscene amount of bedwetting on this podcast, and I'd have been chucking money at the stock exchange like it's going out of fashion. Hence, I've not. Yeah, exactly. I would say we still need to strengthen centre defence. They obviously don't rate Such in there. They rate Galloway as a left back, although I think with McKenzie coming back, you could play them both because you need a left-sided defender and a left-sided centre half and a left back. But that's by the by, they'll both fight for that spot. So I think they're probably viewing Pleggy now as a risk, and it's a long owed running after January, as we all know from last year. So I think they'll definitely sign a centre back. I would personally look for another Rolls.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
I think we need another senior citizen who can put his foot on it.
I can play
and have some experience. Not that senior, Andy. Fuck me. We still need a pulse, mate, and fucking blood pressure. Come on.
Only the best.
I've managed to sup 2 beers very quickly. One of them being a nearly 7% Rocky Road from Brewdog, which is very nice, by the way.
That's where you get the area, isn't it?
It's all going now. My tongue's running away. So I would look at that. But if you look what we got coming back, Ibrahim. So you've got 3 young, canny midfielders in Wiradoo, Boateng, and Ibrahim, who can all play 6 and 8, really. We need another roles, so that's the midfield taken care of. I would have said a couple of weeks ago we need a right back, but I don't think we do now. Although something deep inside says me that Cornell Such is going to disappear. If he does, we definitely need to sign a right back to compete with Joe, because we can't rely on Joe's legs between now and April or early May. Well, it'll be May, won't it, by the time we get the playoffs for Wembley. That's brash, isn't it? So I would say, and if you've got a luxury, although they aren't a luxury, are they? If someone out there is still going to fall into us as a centre forward who can put 10 goals in between now and the end of the season, great. But I can't see that happening unless Ryan Hardy likes living in his old house and his kid likes his old school, maybe. But I can't see that happening. So I would say, in all seriousness, I would say we definitely sign a centre back. I think there may be one more. Hopefully it's a central midfielder. But I think they'll look for now quality that can add value rather than just, we need another. So I think they'll be quite happy with the squad.
Do you think we'll sign another project maybe up front? So I don't think I'm signing another top-level centre forward to...
No, I don't think we will sign another project up front. We said this off air as you go in. So the front 3 have scored 27 goals between them, right? So apart from Lincoln, our front 3 are the most productive front 3 in the league.
My concern is if Tolly does have an injury or Peppel or Aseni again, it still leaves us with only 2 strikers. That's the only thing.
I agree with that. So here's my Mystic Meg crystal ball. I think Patterson and Such will both leave in the window. I imagine Pato must be on 8.5, 9 grand a week, is my guess, because he was at Bristol City last year. Coventry last year, and he would have been on 14, 15k in the champ because he's a senior pro. So 8k is very high for this league. Such is probably on 6 or 7 because he's a championship player who's got a relegation clause in his contract. He was probably on 10 to 12, I imagine, in the champ. So he's probably on 6, maybe 7. They're both at high wages. They're both not being used and using to their both ability. I don't know how happy Such is here, but Pato doesn't seem to be all that happy in the area, and it seems to show in his body language. I think he's a genuinely good man. I don't think he's a disruption in the changing room. I think he's a really good, solid pro, and when he's been in Diamond and talked, he's talked beautifully. But he hasn't had a run in the side. I think when he come here, he's expecting to play in one of the 10 channels, score goals, make goals, be a stalwart in the side and be adorned by the Green Army. And it's not happened for him, is it? So I would suggest he probably, maybe Warsaw or someone like that will pick him up. So if that's the case, I think we'll definitely sign a centre-half. If we get 2 out, because we were talking about a net +1, I think then we'll sign 2 more players, and I would probably sign a right back and a central midfielder.
Yeah, and don't forget the loans, unless you did mention that. Sorry, as I was looking at some stuff.
Yeah, the other thing, I was talking this to James earlier on text, and I'd love to just open the checkbook up now and get Mitch. Because Mitchell will be a class signing, but I don't think Mystic Monty. I don't think Charlton will sell him yet, because I think if Charlton know they're safe, they probably will. But if they come down, they'll know how he's operating in League One, and they'll want him.
I think they won today, didn't they? So I think they're going to be safe this season.
But they want to get Sheffield United, who played with 9 men for about 2/3 of the game.
Yeah, still won, though.
So
still one.
Mystic Monty did you not listen to M&C? No, I didn't listen to M&C Watch Long earlier. No, I didn't. What were you guys saying earlier? I was in Belgium watching this, so I didn't get a chance. What were you saying earlier?
Who are you talking to now? Sorry.
What?
Oh, so Matt Montgomery said, "Hey Gavin, it's Mystic Monty. Did you not listen to M&C?"
Oh, no, he did also suggest that from recollection, he did also suggest that Curtis was going to score outside the box in 72 minutes. It was a few more minutes later than that when he did have a shot outside on the edge of the box, actually. But
okay.
yeah, so I wouldn't trust Mystic Montgomery's predictions either.
Source.
What's that? I heard Mitchell wants to go back to
Tom
Charlton
Sauce.
end of the season
Source.
for his place.
Well, it depends. If he's in the champ, he won't get a look in, will he? But if they're in League One, he'll more than happily sit in the middle of the
Well, this is the thing. So just on that, he's not old. He's not a spring chicken, as
27,
you
isn't
can
he?
say now in football terms. But if he carries on putting in a solid performance for the rest of the season, then it is a conversation with his manager, isn't it? And if his manager says, "Look, if I'm being honest with you, like you're best off staying down there." I mean, hang on a minute, we could be jumping back up, to the Championship. Let's just put it out there.
Well, he could be going like that. We'll go up, they come down. Who knows?
He might then realise that, and he'll get told that, and then maybe look at the options that are open to him.
We won't sign him this window, which I'd love to, because that would just solve the problem with the centre back thing, in my opinion. But I think we'll definitely sign a centre half, because everything I'm being told from people close to the club is we're signing a centre half next week, right? But I haven't got a name yet. If I get a name, I'll put it into our WhatsApp group. But if Such goes and if Patterson goes, I believe we'll sign another midfielder and we'll sign a right back, is my guess. But it's the last week of the window, the last few days of the window, as we all know, especially those that stand outside Home Park chasing Range Rovers, will know that no one on this pod does that. Will know that the last week of a window is a very, very long week, and lots of things happen, lots of moving parts. So who knows? But we do have some cash knocking around. So there is an opportunity. But I would imagine Paul Burns probably saying, "Want a bit of that back in the coffers to negate some of the losses that we know we forecast this year." So, which is what normal business would do before all the bedwetters start getting excited. But yeah, I think we'll sign definitely one. I would hope it's 2 or 3. But if it is 2 or 3, it means that we're losing Cornell Such and we're probably losing Pato. I don't think Connor Hazard, by the way, I saw a comment. I don't think Connor Hazard's going anywhere from what I've heard.
All gone all quiet now, isn't it, on that?
Yeah. Well, he'll just have to walk around like a miserable bastard for the rest of the season. Just smile, Connor. We love you. Just smile, please. I know you've been brought up in Northern Ireland. Fucking smile. Please.
Well, speaking of that, Dad the Janner says Sooks didn't look happy in the bench. On the bench, was not engaged with anyone, just sat by himself.
He was laughing when your man got sent off. That's all I saw. We'll go down the tunnel, and you see him sat there laughing at the guy as he goes down the tunnel. So
the guy punched the side, didn't he, or something? He punched the wall or something. The guy that got sent off.
No idea.
He did when he went down the tunnel. Yeah.
It's
But Cornell was a complete professional, in my opinion. He trains well, from what I understand. Every time he comes on the pitch, he does his absolute best, and he's a good human being. So, but like anyone, you want more minutes, don't you? If you're not playing, and unfortunately, he's been carved into a position now where the club captain plays. So, you've got to be very, very good to nudge the club captain off his perch, haven't you?
Yeah. Lox9 says the board think we're skint, so does the financial accounts.
Yeah, look at the balance sheet, Lox9, then you'll see how skint. Well, we're not skint compared to others. I mean, those noisy lot up the road are properly skint. They're going around at half time with the buckets.
Another 3-0 win for them today, and as they stay with us as we climb the league.
What was their attendance? Was it above 7,500?
No, don't be
4,000
silly.
in the dog called Spot, apparently.
The what, sorry?
About 4,000 in the dog called Spot.
The dog called Spot pays £4.50, so that's good.
Just as Jana said, I wouldn't be too upset if Suits leaves. His long throws, 9 out of 10, always go to the opposition and hasn't shined much when he's played. Actually, I'm going to go. I sort of touched upon it briefly earlier, but we didn't allude to it too much. But I brought it up on Tuesday night with the way that Curtis was pitting in the corners and set pieces. The crossing of the ball from him again was superb, as it was today. But Sorinola, and I commented on it in the first half. I went, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sorinola about to take this free kick when we had the first one in the game. and his corners and his free kicks were brilliant today, as we've sung his praises on the show tonight. But whatever's changed there, whether or not someone's working on the set pieces, in the training, because we've obviously had Galloway 2 goals in 2 games. He obviously didn't get his third, but he did have a header that I think just went wide of the post in the game today. Obviously, Mitchell getting on one, Ross getting on one that was straight to the keeper. So, I mean, Carl, I'm not aware that we've signed anybody as a set piece coach. Put my teeth back in, but the fact that we know Soranola's corners and set pieces have been very poor all season, not beating the first man. And, and it takes away, when you get those chances, an opportunity to try and make something of it. But, he did really well with it today. But we seem to be just getting a bit more in and around the box.
Well, because we've got someone decent taking bloody set pieces now. I mean, Rawls' deliveries are excellent. And we saw some of them again today. And We've got some height in this team, and we haven't been using it. That's why we've been so poor from corners. Because whoever's taken them before, i.e. Soranola, did Mumba take corners? He didn't, did he?
No, Soranola. It's like anything. If you've got 3 or 4 people in your position, or 3 or 4 people that do the thing you do, doing it quite well, like we did on Tuesday night with Curtis getting 3 assists. Sorry, going to have to improve, or he's going to be withdrawn from the duty. The fact he was given it again today, and he had a much better game of doing it. It's no surprise, really, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, and obviously Curtis as well. Alex,
you've probably got 3 or 4 there actually. So Amici, when he's on, is a good dead ball specialist. So there's more than one now, and the coaching staff between them. I think Tom's assistant, doesn't he? Does the set piece stuff with, but. Look, our corners are much more threatening now than they've ever been. They're like literally hanging under the crossbar, and we've got Mitch and Galloway and Ross, who are all very good in the air. And actually today they were Mitchell at the back post. They found him 3 times, and just the defender got up above him, didn't they? The guy got sent off. So yeah.
And God bless Adam Randall, who was really quite shocking at corners. A lot of them went over to the first man, or completely over the whole of the lot in the 6-yard box. So it's nice to see we've got some players that can actually whip decent balls in there.
I was just waggling my finger, not at Gavin, but Alex Argyle. He was obviously at the game, but he said, "Did Soranola take a corner today?" ? Crying out laughter. He said it was Rawls and Curtis. Well, I'll have you know, young man. I'll have you know, he took one. I've just checked it on FOTMob. So thank you very much.
Soranola took one.
Yeah, he took one corner. So basically, Alex at Argyle, because he was obviously there, the young lad I said who does his vlogs earlier, and he was saying to me he didn't take a corner. Basically, he did take one.
I remember the one he took. It hung up at the back post, and that's when he took the
Mitchell
one that Mitchell did his head. Yeah,
that's it. So, but it was good to see that he was pitting in some good balls and some good crosses and that. So it was good. Right, what else have we got? Just a Janice saying, think we scored more from corners this season than our whole championship campaign combined. So Graham says, subscribe if anyone hasn't. Well, I'll segue to that now. Graham. But yes, please, if you are on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, please do that and hit the bell so you know when we go live. But like
division bell.
Yes, like I say, it's every Thursday at 8:30 and every Saturday at 8:30. So you get your preview. We call it the live lounge, but it's the preview show. We used to do a lot of segments in there, but as this season's been quite busy with a round of games, it's been a bit of a struggle to do some of that. But yeah, every Thursday at 8:30 and then Saturdays as we are now for the post-match. And then, as I said, you'll see me and whoever joins me. It was Carl and Harvey on the watch-along Tuesday, and today it was with Carl. So yes, I shall be doing those for as many away day games as I can, and it is great fun as a number of you in the chat do join in for that. So yeah, I think it will be Gavin's turn at some point. He does watch the games as well on Argyle TV as I do. David Tom says Hardy was mentioned. If he is not getting into Wrexham team, he could come to us on loan. It would be a big wage, and that's my only thought. No disrespect to him, but I think with Aseni coming out, Peppel, there's going to be some competition there, and they've scored a good bunch of goals between them, along with Talai. So I can't see it. What else we got? Matt Montgomery saying Owen Moxon, another midfielder, may be worth a look. Anybody know Owen Moxon on the panel?
Not personally.
No, not personally, no, but at all. We had 10 corners today. He only took 10%. Was it the first half he took it? It was the first half.
It was first half, yeah.
Let it go, Alex. Let it go. I didn't think I was wrong. You won't catch me out. Or you might. It's not hard sometimes. Debbie Firth says, another great watch. Thanks, guys. Thanks, so as we roll over the hour and 10 minutes, I think we've done well to cram in what we've crammed in today. So let's look at the next lot of home games or fixtures. So let me just bring it up. We did bring it up earlier, and I'll get each of the guys' thoughts on this. So off the back of the 2 away games, if you factor in the Rovers game, we play Luton, and that's the 12:30 kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you're aware of that on the January the 24th, and then it's the Tuesday night following where we play Mansfield at home. So 2 back-to-back home games, followed by the away trip at the end of Jan on the 31st to Stockport County before returning home to face Lincoln, who are above us in the top in the form over the last 8 games. They're first, we're second, and we play them on February the 7th.
That's going to be a difficult game, home to Lincoln, and that will give us a benchmark of where we actually are.
Win that, and we can believe.
Yeah. So, as they've just given their points, Andy, I'll come to you. So the next 4 games, I will come back to them. The next 4 games, so 2 home, 1 away. So, and then the home game again. I mean, it's vital that we take this momentum forward now, isn't it? And really put in, not just grind out a win, but put in a really strong performance at home. If we can try and get back to a Fortress home park of some form with that away record, then it could be a very exciting end to the season as we go into it after Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 home games, I expect, I'd say 6 points, maybe 7 points. I think we can get a point from Lincoln, that'd be good. But certainly the Luton game and the Mansfield game, we've got to sort of try to maximise that. And the away game at Stockport, that's going to be a tough game, but our away form's good, so we could go up there and potentially get a point. So, yeah, I think we're going to do well. I just think Lincoln's going to be the hard one of the 4 games.
Sorry, just on the transfer front, wouldn't it be nice?
No, sorry.
Wouldn't it be nice to do a hat trick of Port Vale and Nick Marvin Johnson as well? Who's like a
yes, you said that earlier.
That'd be class, wouldn't it?
I just think for shits and giggles we do it anyway.
But just for shits and giggles,
yeah.
But he's had a good career actually. I was just looking at his career. He's Sheffield Wednesday for 4 or 5 years. Before that Middlesbrough, before that Sheffield United.
What position is he, Gav? What position?
He's left back / left midfield. Predominantly left back. So they're saying sign a centre half. If you think Galloway's good enough for centre half, have him and
that's true. Yeah, Mackenzie.
Him and Mackenzie fight the left back position. Move him in one, and then you've got the 3 really good centre or 3 good centre halves. Sam Pleggy, who's the injury prone one. Never thought I'd say that. Normally it's Galloway. So that would be a good thing because he literally just cancelled his own contract today. He had a short-term contract with them and said, "Thank you very much, I'm off." So maybe
not a bad shout.
He's sat on the Barbican at the minute waiting for the boys. Got the round in saying, "What time are you back, lads?" I'm in the Dolphin. Who knows? With a pint with Talai and Curtis.
Well, Gavin, I'm just going to stay with you then to get these next 4 games. And I've actually just looked at the FOTMob only did the last 5 matches. Steve shared in our WhatsApp group the last 8 where we sit just behind them, Lincoln in second. Yeah. So in the last 5 matches, it's Mansfield who top the form league. Lincoln in second. You'll find ourselves in 9th in that. So obviously 2 of those teams that we play for, Stockport as well, are in there in 7th. So it's a real big test, these next 4 games. Luton, are 4th in that form table. So I think, as Carl and Andy, Gavin both said just then, but Gavin, come out of it with some strong points. I think why not go for 9? Although I don't and get a
We're-
draw,
we're on-
you know, or whatever.
we're-
Sorry,
we're-
10
we're-
get draw.
We're
But yeah,
confident at the minute, right? We're confident at the minute. Away from home, I think the pressure's off a little bit, which helps. If we can play 4-2-3-1 at home and dominate the football, there's no reason. So if that back four stays resolute as it did today, and that midfield holds, I think we're fine. The only challenge is when you play Amici, he is a bit Whitakeritis, isn't he? So he only got one gear, it's forward. He hasn't got any going back to help. So that's the only drama. In which case, you probably play Such at home at right back because he's a bit more defensive minded. I don't know. I'm not a coach. But the form guide doesn't lie. It didn't lie today, although we were much better than Peterborough. Lincoln's probably our toughest game coming up. Yeah. But I just think we've got the hoodoo on Luton. I think we're going to be they're going to be mentally, because we should have beat them up there last year in the Championship on that 1-1.
Oh God, yeah, was that the Callum Wright should have scored that goal?
Well, you know, he did score
offside. He was about 3 yards on, wasn't he? I mean,
yeah.
And again, another great piece of officiating from the EFL. Thanks, PGMOL, that was class. I just think we've got it, and I think someone tweeted it earlier. I think Pepple's got a goal in him to beat this lot. I really do. He'll be revved up to because they cast him aside without really giving him a chance, didn't they? And now he's got marginally better. And I just want to say, by the way, Owen Aseni and Pepple at the beginning of the season, you wouldn't know if they put the boots on the right feet. They were both look very ordinary. We must be doing something really fucking well on the paddock because you've now got 2 strikers that have got 6, 7, 8 goals or whatever they are. Was it 12 goals between them? Who look different players from when we recruited them. And I don't think really can be afford to be called project players anymore because they're doing it at this level. So something's going on that paddock that's improving players. And last year we got all excited about Rooney never improved anyone and blah, 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 which I get. But I have to say this coaching cohort led by TC, who is our head coach, that's his job title, clearly are doing something on the grass to improve our players, especially our front players.
Confidence is a massive thing as well. Scoring goals and getting minutes.
Of course it is. But so that I'm just going to throw that in but I think we'll get 7 points out of the next 3 games.
Yeah,
that's achievable, isn't it? Definitely.
I'm going for 9 because sod it, why not? But yeah, Carl, it's Mansfield are up there in those last 5 games in form, as Mark has just put as well. We're second from the last 8, as I mentioned earlier. You know, with Lincoln sat up there in top spot. So, but this league is so up and down, isn't it? You know, I mean, the Exeter are in there. I think it was 8th or something. I just looked at. They're above us, but you know, it's amazing how things can flip around. But you just feel there is a different vibe going on, and you know it's getting into that habit of consistently taking points away from teams. You know, adding to that some strong performances, the away form that we would have never have dreamed of, and has luckily dug us right out of the shit. Excuse my French. You know, we can go on and you know really set a precedent now, and hopefully, you know, get everybody believing that actually there could be something interesting that could happen come the end of the season.
Yeah, spot on. I think these next 3 games potentially can make or break our late surge up the league. I think if we can get some decent results, if we can beat Luton, take some points off Mansfield going into the Lincoln game, and we're still up, you know, kind of higher mid-table or even up in the top 10, I think we can make a late push for the playoffs. I generally think now with all the players coming back, we've got the quality and we're showing the quality. Tom's turning it around, and I think with a few extra additions in that team, we still need the odd body in case of injuries. I think we can make a right good go of it. And even if we fail the last hurdle and finish 10th, 12th, that's no disgrace after our start we made this season. I think a season of stability, keeping the manager and pushing on next season. But if we can make a playoff charge in the final months of the season, then yeah, massive kudos to the management setup.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I think it's about time to probably wrap up because it's about 4 hours for Carl and I on lives. It was 2.5 hours for the game earlier, and enjoyed every minute of it. So I'll come to final thoughts. Obviously, Andy, you have muted yourself just so you know you've done that. Before I just come to you, though, Graham Burns say Middlesbrough, much bigger club than Brentford, in my opinion. Matt Montgomery, Amici sidestep running and moves like he is in treacle. Yeah, I do remember when you brought that up the other night. But with a good shot, does not work. Put out of possession hard enough to win the ball back. I still. My jury's out on him. Accidental Pilgrim, who did jump in right at the death as well. I think it was Thursday evening to you, mate. He says, late on parade tonight. Excellent performance today. Keep the faith. Nice to see Carl wearing a proper Argyle green shirt.
This is proper Argyle green.
Absolutely. Great performance today. I'm just going to scroll back to see some others that have come in as well.
What about selling Whittaker to Brentford, which 20, 25 million quid, if we get 20% of that, I'd be happy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Think of all that carpet we can get for Folkestone Park.
Thick pole stuff and a really nice underlay.
Yeah. Paul Bailey saying earlier, just replying to Stephen Cooper, say thanks for asking, Stephen Cooper. Carl is updated, but Tamerton versus Drake next Saturday, Lipson School, 12 o'clock kickoff, so we'll clash with Argyle. Did you say the game was postponed today, Carl?
Yeah, the pitch looked like someone's been up there with a driving range and hitting out turfs of lawn up there, so it's looking pretty.
I thought I heard you were doing some warm up with Philip the other day. Was that not you then? Oh, right, okay.
And with all the rain, the goal mouths are looking pretty tragic. So I think any pitch over Plymouth at the minute, the amount of rain that it's had, and the councils really aren't keeping up with their maintenance. So it's difficult getting games on this time of the year.
Well, that maintenance is everywhere, not just on those pitches. Where's CJ anyway? I haven't seen him in the chat for a long time.
Yeah, about time he gets his ass back on here, I think.
Yeah, where's he gone? Also, matey, Spencer hasn't been on for a while. But yes, there's plenty more of you joining in. I'm going to come to final thoughts. But before I do, and I'll start with Andy, but before I do, I just want to say thank you to those that do catch up with this show, that can't catch it live, and do follow up. And if that's on your Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any other podcast platform, I do see some people do log into the block9.co.uk, where I do have the streams available on there as well. So we do really appreciate that. Hopefully your ears are not too damaged tonight. Gavin doesn't send his apologies. Anyway, but no, we do appreciate those that do catch up with that afterwards. And if I could only ask for those of you that don't already, please share and let your friends know. We've started to build a really good community on Facebook as well. There's been some really good comments going through there with a couple of our posts recently, and everybody getting stuck in with their views. So it's really good. VW Coco, just saying, we said earlier, I did see you pop in a while ago, so evening to you. Huddersfield manager sacked 5 minutes ago. And on that point, when you consider they've had a couple of losses and 2 draws is what their last, and a win, which is what their last 5 games are, and yet he gets the boot, and they're in 6 at the moment. It just goes to show how just some owners don't have the patience. And poor Mumba, it was 6.1. I went in and checked. That was someone did ask earlier.
At one point, it was 5.9. So
yeah, it was 6.1. He ended on, did get subbed off. So yes, final thoughts from you, Andy, as we head into a week before we get back on the pitch.
Yeah, very, very happy with the result today. Peterborough's a tough place to go to. They didn't lose many at home. It's the first time we've won up there since 2019, I believe. So well played to the lads for getting their points and bringing them back to Devon tonight. And onwards and upwards for the Greens now. Let's hope we go on, push on and get another few points over the next few weeks.
Oh, sorry, I got to read this one out. Bim, bim, bim. Let me hear you say purple. Carl.
I love that.
Final thoughts from you, Carl. That was a segue to you. I mean, come on. Yeah, are you going to give us your final thoughts or just laugh it off?
Oh, sorry. I thought you went to Gav. Yeah, just echo what Andy says. I think now consistency is going to be key. Few home games coming up over the next few weeks. The next 2 are huge, in my opinion. I think we need to start seeing some better performances at home and some more controlled performances as well. And hopefully we'll be in a completely different place in a couple of months' time. But we're certainly heading in the right direction. I don't see us falling back down into the hole where we were a few weeks ago. I think the tide has turned. I think the players are playing for Tom cleverly, and I believe that with the players that are coming back, especially with Ibrahim coming back, we'll have Dale soon, Mackenzie. Once they're all fitting in the team, I think we'll be hopefully a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and as Matty just said there, thank you, Carl, Gavin. He said, can't forget where we were only a few weeks ago. I did happen to just dive into a couple of old ones, like the Northampton one, which obviously I didn't make at the time, but and then seeing the comments and just scouring them quickly, and it was just like, oh God, it was oh so painful there. But yeah, go and give us your final thoughts before signing off tonight, Gav.
Well, in many ways it's positive, but not financially for my stocks and shares price. So if we could just have a few more bedwetters for a bit, that'd be nice. ARGYLE 83, I know you're away. I know they dry quickly out there, don't they? Mattresses, you just stick them outside for 20 minutes in the balcony. But all joking aside, look, I think we're on a being the only panelist that was TC in throughout and maintain that. I'm just going to get that in one more time. We're on the right path. I think we've been playing with half a deck for 3-4 months. It's still not all back. When it is, this is one of the better squads in the league. It is a poor league, to caveat that before I get people jumping on me going, yeah, but it isn't a great league, is it? Let's be honest. I think the table will have a big change around in the coming months. And I think the cream will start to rise to the top, which hopefully we are of that thicker substance than the thinner. That'd be nice. Big 5 days, so 4 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday from next week. 2 big fixtures with Portsmouth and Mansfield, Luton and Mansfield, who are both in very good form. You get 6 points out of that, then you really have to say that we are absolutely at the races. But again, the acid tests now, or the litmus tests come thick and fast, don't they? So let's see what the coaching team do to put a plan together to beat Luton and then to beat Mansfield on Tuesday night. I remember being out in Lanzarote, I think, last time we played Mansfield, and we were awful. And I, in the piano bar, got told off for saying the FUCK word rather loudly when my pod's in, forgot where I was. So we could do with giving them a payback. And Luton away, I think we've just got the whole voodoo on them. So Luton at home, I think we'll win, and I think Bim Pepper will get us over the line. So I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 games to see where we really are.
Yeah, no, excellent. Thank you for that. Just read out a couple. As Matt Montgomery, I think, is reminding me rather than asking me, but do you sell Block 9 fleeces or beanies? Don't do beanies. It's hard to try and find one that's priced right that I can actually get the logo on, and I have looked, trust me. But yes, obviously, of course, Matt, you should know. I'm not wearing it tonight. Debbie Firth's, I've got to get hers done this weekend because I want to make sure, I know you said no rush, but get you that and your mug, and then you can enjoy that. So yes, we do. If you go to the block9.co.uk, you can see our Etsy store. It's in the link at the top. You can click on that and you'll see a few of the mugs on there. There's t-shirts, the hoodies. The hoodies are decent quality. They're 25 quid a hoodie. And you have me using my magical touch to put the logos on the hoodies for you. Paul Bailey's got a good few for the Tamerton team. And there's a number of you also that have picked some up. Like the Christmas jumpers, that are still my favourite piece at the moment that we did before Christmas.
I was thinking, Mike, of all this rain recently, especially at the Tamerton games, about having some Block 9 umbrellas.
Well, surely a dry robe.
Oh, no.
Dry robe.
No. You're not a dry robe beep, are you?
If ARGYLE 83 is still in here, I still need to consider those pillowcases or bed sheets for a bit of shits and giggles, as we say sometimes. But so I'm going to end with a point that I said at the start, as just checking some of the comments coming in. So it was good to get another performance today, and it was a brilliant and enjoyable watch along earlier. But I'll end on this as I started with. Some say this is all Derek Adams, but credit to the board who stuck with Tom and made a smart appointment, bringing Derek Adams in providing that experience and support, but cleverly is the head coach, and with smart signings in Rules and Curtis, maybe some more to come. And to add to that, players not just returning from injury, but also stepping in and stepping up. Let's just say that I think we are now starting to find our form and the true Argyle of the league campaign, and it's credit to all involved. So, because everybody has to play their part. I think, guys, let's just tolly with the brolly, accidental pilgrim there. I like that. Let's just say, look, it's good to start getting results again. Want to see, though, that consistency at home and see if we can pick up some wins in these next 2 games. But thank you very much for all of those that joined us earlier on for the watch along and have joined us tonight. Brilliant in the comments, and thank you all for watching. From all of us, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday to preview that next game to Luton.